Yes, lovely people. Dwayne, Nathan, Jack. Yes, I'm back with another one. And this time, I'm going to be sharing the experience of how I ended up smoking crack cocaine at the age of 12, 13 years old. Yes, cool. When I look at a 13, 12, 13-year old child now, I look and it really does make me think real deep to what was actually going on for myself. Where were my parents? What was going on for them? Dad went, new wife, new life. Mum left, wounded, A, B, and C, filling her needs. And this is something that happens within society where children have children, whether they were children or not. Yes, they're young adults at the time, and they're unable to fulfill their own needs, let alone the needs of children. And this is where we're falling short within the UK, where there's children having children, and they're not equipped with skills themselves, and deprived areas with single parents. And I happen to be one of those children that were unfortunate to be within single parent family. Dad went, new wife, new life, and mum was struggling, and mum was obviously doing the best of her ability, but trying to fill that void with drink, alcohol, drugs, clubbing, and fulfilling it with another man and chasing her tail. So I believe that's what we do as human beings sometimes. We try and fulfill the void with the opposite sex, etc. And then there's children there that are in the middle, that are being neglected, rejected. And that happened to be me. So yes, 12, 13 years old, I was a problem in school, behavior problems, and didn't want to be in school, creeping off. I left school in primary school, and I ended up gravitating to the boys that had come from the same demographic of me, single parents, and a bit more advanced, smoking, doing drugs, doing crime. And I wanted acceptance and belonging because it wasn't at home. There wasn't that love. There wasn't that approval, appraisal. There wasn't the basic needs being met. So I found it, as you do, as human beings. And I happened to start drinking alcohol about 11, cigarettes, cannabis, and then it's very fast tracked into crack. How did it happen? So these boys were out robbing and stealing, and I'd be out with them, 12, 13. And I remember they would be sniffing cocaine and sometimes putting it in a spliff. Yeah, I don't know what it was, whether it's crack. And eventually, I happened to be with one boy. We went out. He'd probably be about, at the time, around his 20s. I was like 12, 13. And we made some money. And he stopped in a taxi. When he stopped in a taxi, he went and met someone. And then he come back, and then we was walking. And then he went and he got a can, Coke can. He went ping, ping, dig some holes. And then he's put the thing and he smoked it. And I didn't even know what it was at the time. I'm thinking, what's that? And then he started acting different. Then he started getting paranoid, telling me to walk up away or whatever. So that was my first kind of seeing what they were doing. Then eventually, where I'm with these people, I think it was like late 90s, early 2000s. Don't hold me to the dates, but it was new to the UK. And these boys that I used to hang around with, the older ones, they used to go to like jungle raves, and they'd be in their designer clothes, and they'd be in their Versace, they'd be in their Gucci tailored waistcoats and jackets, and all. I just wanted to be like these guys, and their gold chains, and they'd be smoking their cannabis. And then obviously that's where the crack was introduced. So I remember we went out one time, obviously doing criminal activities. Then we went back to this flat. I had all my clothes from shopping, and then they were doing what they're doing, but I really didn't pay attention. But I happened to be there this time, and one of them said, "Here, try that," and I tried it. So there I am in this a room of clouds of smoke. 12 years old. Little D, they used to call me because I was that so young. Little D. Little D's there sitting on the edge of the bed. You've got four 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds smoking this stuff. And one of them, I've got all my bags there, I've got money in my pocket. So there you go. Try that. There's me. It gave me a feeling. It gave me such a feeling that I felt so powerful. It released all my pain from my childhood traumas, from all the stuff that I'd gone through, because I was a traumatized child just wanting to fulfill that void, that feeling, right? So you imagine now I'm 13 years old, and now there's a feeling that's, it's not sweet. You know, going to a sweetie shop, 12, 13 years old. No, crack cocaine. And from when I done that, I spent every penny that I had in my pocket. I sold the clothes that I had from like designer clothes, because they used to take me into West End of London, into Harrods and Probitos, and they'd get them tailored for me and stuff like that. So I sold everything. But the boy that actually introduced me to it and said, "They try that," he never had any money. He was just there, just cling along. So he really, when I look back, how bad mind he was doing that. But it doesn't matter, because it shaped me to who I am today, and I appreciate every experience and that I've been through. Regret, obviously, where I've hurt people along my journey. Forgive me. But that was it. I become a slave. I become a slave to this substance for almost 17 years. It might not have been that, but it was the same stimulant, the crack or the cocaine. And I was a slave. I would rob, I would steal. I remember 13 years old, I would burgle, I would do everything under the sun. And I'm not proud of what I went through. I'm proud of who I am today for getting through it and being able to give back to society, to the community, and to change the amount of people's lives I've changed that were on drugs, that have probably saved the society millions of pounds, and not just that, saved lives, etc., because that's what I do. But I was a slave. I just didn't care about my own life, about other people's lives. Self-centered, my heart was hardened. And this went on for almost 17 years. The danger I put myself and other people in, being stabbed, being shot, being stabbed in my heart here, and I'm in a crack house, and then we're putting glue in there and pushing it together. Like, I don't know what kind of madness. And then I'm there, and then in the end I had to go hospital because I couldn't breathe properly. I had a punctured lung, and it was that close away from my heart. That's just one incident. A punctured lung, fractured skull macheting in my head, fractured skull bleeding to the brain. That's just naming a couple. Due to this stuff made me feel so powerful, I would rob, I'd steal, I would be warring with people within my criminal, cultural environments. And this stuff really numbed me and took me further and further away from myself. it was, yeah, it was numbing the pain at the time, and I would just chase this feeling, this buzz. But the more I chased the buzz, the more I was becoming volatile. I was becoming a menace, a danger to myself and others. And some of the things that I done, some of the things that got done to me, it's only through the grace of God that I'm here today to even share this information with you. And if you actually knew half of it, you would think it's a miracle that I'm here to be able to share this information. The reason I'm sharing this information is so that people can have hope, whether it's for themselves, for their loved ones, that there is hope. Have faith, never give up, and everything's possible for those that believe when you actually do surrender. But that was my experience of crack cocaine. I would be in crack houses at 13 years old, and there'd be people in there old enough to be my mum and dad, and even sometimes my mum's like friends or ex-friends, well, not, yeah, that knew my mum, etc. And they said, "What are you doing in here?" But I kind of just blended in after a while. They kind of knew. I'd have people my mum's age that knew my mum selling me crack, and they had kids my age, and they would sell me this crack, knowing that they had a son my age and used to play football with me, and I'm 13 years old. And that's the kind of places that I came from, and I'm just happy and feel privileged that I'm here today to be able to use those experiences for other people. So if you've got a loved one that is on Class A drugs, or yourself, you can do it. It is possible. And you can do anything when you put your mind to it. But that's my experience of being 13 years old, smoking crack, being stabbed, shot, chopped. Obviously, I'll go into that in other videos, but it was this main video today was on about how I ended up smoking crack at the age of 13 years old. Obviously, there was a contributing factor because of my parenting, because of the environment where I lived, and all. There was multiple contributing factors. However, it happened, and it made me the person that I am today. So I am going to love you and leave you. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, and I will see you on another one. And if you are struggling with any kind of form of addiction and you don't know where to go, and you may have tried every traditional intervention, NA, AA, it didn't work for me until I discovered the I Am way. And if this is something that you need help and support because you've tried everything, or you feel this will help you more because of the character, the relatability, the rapport, then follow one of the links, and I'm sure you'll find me and be able to connect to see how we can support you. Do take care, and I'll see you soon.